Hi, welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Missed Show Minutes. We've been discussing on Hidden Wealth Radio this last week's State of the Union address, which really highlights from my book the acronym TIME. You know, it's time. In fact, we got a lot of feedback from this past weekend show that the uncertainty of what a lot of people didn't catch in the State of the Union address has got a lot of people's attention. So I want to catch you up with what you might have missed. TIME in my books is an acronym that stands for taxes. The T, taxes are heading higher. So if you're saving for college in a 529 plan, it's now being proposed that you will pay tax on the way out to get that money into the tuition for your child or grandchild. The capital gains tax rate, while we're all trying to get ahead in our retirement savings, that rate for certain income levels is being pushed higher, all the way up to 28%. On top of that, there's a federal mandate to employers that don't offer the new, what really is disguised as the nationalization of IRAs and 401ks, that are forcing people that don't have traditional retirement accounts, to employers of 25 or more employees, to have to offer as a federal mandate this MyRA account, which forces people to buy treasury bonds that, by the way, are averaging roughly less than 2%. And they ran the projection that if you put money into this for 5 years, $150 a month, for 5 years, you'd make a whopping $560 in interest, averaging 3%. And that's, by the way, funded with after-tax dollars, so there's not a tax deferral going in. And even though there may not be a tax coming out, the interest is so minimal that there's just absolutely no way. It's the tax hidden in getting the mandate penalty against the employer, like with Obamacare, is where the lion's share of the revenue is going to be generated for the president. It's not because he's looking out for the retirement of you and I, the public. The I in TIME acronym is inflation is increasing. You know, we know the Fed, who has artificially stimulated interest rates down to a point of driving our deficit into a destructive level, is now going to be raising interest rates, which the cost of consumer borrowing, from car loans to credit cards to student loans and all the above, are going to be more costly, no differently than gas, groceries, and grain fees. In fact, labor participation rates, where it's made us to believe that unemployment's coming down to 5.6%. You realize that when Obama was elected, if it was at the same labor employment level, number of people that haven't given up looking for jobs, if they were still in the job hunting arena, do you realize our unemployment rate would be at 9.9%? Folks, the cost of things are more and more expensive, and the tax on employers, the tax on investors' gains, is just going to mean a bigger tax and lesser growth going forward. You can't tax and spend your way out of a major Great Recession. And history has proven that time and time again. And now Europe is looking to do the same. So imports are going to be more costly. I mean, the whole thing is meaning the cost to live is going to increase. The M in TIME for market corrections. I talk about an article out of CNN Money that talks about it's not time to put the Dramamine away yet. Rough seas ahead, volatility to stay. The market's going to continue to go all over the place because we're a global economy now. In fact, much of what's being discussed that's causing havoc on our markets isn't even happening here at home. So we're impacted and affected by things our parents and grandparents never had the concern or worry or anxiety over. And I want to teach you how you don't have to be exposed to that next correction or crash by getting your money safe. And then the E in TIME, ease of management. It's time to get serious about planning the time that it's needed to educate yourself, to protect yourself from this new retirement reality, so that you don't become a statistic. Because this State of the Union, which should have been titled State of Destruction, is just more just destruction to our economy as it relates to the difference between the makers and the takers. And that's really what it comes down to. And more will be taken from you and I, whether that's directly or indirectly. And there are things that we can do about it, where you can put your money where it grows without tax, where it grows without the risk of the market taking away any prior gains or growth, where you don't have to worry about the power of your purchasing power eroding, but the actual purchasing power you have is increasing. And these are things I want to teach you. So there's two opportunities to not become a retirement reality statistic, and to get serious about it now being time about putting in the time to learn how to have a safe, secure, and certain retirement. Simply go to myretirementprotected.com. And I'm appreciative of this initial education, but I want you to extend that education because I'm confident that you will learn and be empowered to protect yourself. And you can do it on demand with your spouse or significant other. We suggest just go to myretirementprotected.com. That's myretirementprotected.com. Register, and right then and there, while it's heavy on your mind, watch what you can do to protect yourself, to not have time against you, but time on your side. And if you're someone who's not trying to get ready about putting in the time for your retirement, and you are ready to see what your retirement reality is with the track that you're running on, simply call. And if it's after hours, you don't get somebody directly, let us know the best time, the best number, the best email, and the best day to reach you back with your name. And we'll serve you on a first come, first serve basis at 800-825-1766. That's 800-825-1766. We had so many people call, and so many people now relieved just from this last week that have said, wow, I wish I would have learned these things 20 years ago. Folks, it's time to realize that there's a new retirement reality, and it's not what our parents and grandparents did, because we live in a global economy. And it's time to get serious about putting in the time to build a safe, certain, and secure retirement. Here's to your hidden wealth.